your track record shows you clearly have an eye for talent. Who's the most talented young hip hop artist that you have that you're familiar with?
I used to say it was Thug, but now I'm saying it's a tie between Thug and Quavo.
Now, look the other way at the generation older than you. Who is the hip hop artist whose career you most admire? Who you would think of as a role model?
As a role model?
Or
as a role model, I feel like Jay-Z should be commended, but that's not one of the artists that I feel like is my favorite artist by far. But I feel like just what he's done and what he's doing for his business, like that's somebody who you can say you want to model your career to kind of like go in, I guess, that trajectory or whatever. But if it was on me, who I would like, I would say Project Pat or Pimp C. I like hood artists.
You say Jay-Z's not quite your style, why?
It's I think it's just a cultural thing.
Yeah.
He's from up here and I'm from down. So I like people who talk like I talk. You know, I'm not the most articulate person.
That's not true.
So I kind of like rappers that sound like use the slang I use. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear people say stuff that I hear in the neighborhood. You know, like I'm more of a down south regional artist. If it, you know, that's who I like. I like down south artists, and I like West Coast old hip hop gangster, Eazy-E, Dr. Dre type artists. That's what I like.
Wait, since we're talking about the South, I have an Atlanta question.
Okay.
So I know Atlanta a little bit, and every time I go to Atlanta, I go to because I'm another boring New York writer. I go to a little coffee shop next to Grant Park, and
It's my neighborhood.
Is that your neighborhood? Yeah. All right. It's the Octane on what's the street? I forgot.
Boulevard.
That's right. In any case, so I look around the room, and here's what I see. I see a couple, like two young African Americans in suits, and if you listen to their conversation, because I love to listen to people's conversations, they both have some big important job with Kasim Reed, right? And then I see another table, 4 people, and they're having a Bible study. And then I see over there, I see 2 students from Georgia Tech who were like, one's from Africa and one's from India. And then I see over there some bunch of people who look like you. And then I see like the most uptight...
Hold up.
I mean, cool-looking people. And then I see,
that's what that meant.
And then I see the most uptight white family I've ever seen in my life. And I'm thinking, this is in one coffee shop in Atlanta. Atlanta is the most extraordinary crazy mix of, and so I have a couple questions on this. One is this why Atlanta is this part of the explanation for why Atlanta is exploding as a kind of creative cultural center in America? Is it just the weirdest mix-up, mash-up of people?
I don't know if that's the reason why it's blowing up for us with the music scene, but that's like a good description of just the landscape of Atlanta. It's just a bunch of people from a bunch of different places. Like even me, I was born in Birmingham, Alabama. So, you know, even me, came down like 88 or 89. But I always show love and say Zone 6 in East Atlanta because they embrace me, you know. I don't know a lot about, Alabama because I was left there when I was 8 years old, but when I got to Atlanta, it's like I made friends instantly. A lot of those friends, I still got friends with me to this day. And it's kind of like everything I rap about, I did in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a beautiful city with a bunch of beautiful people. It's a hard city. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it got so much going on. It got the AUC with all the college people. Then they got all the script clubs.
Let's not forget that.
Seriously, like it really got a real nightlife industry, and they got all these kids. So you got to think about it. Like a lot of the photographers, the directors, and producers, they going to Morehouse. They going to Clark. A lot of these videographers, they going to these schools. But then at the same time, you got these trap rappers that's going and promoting their music every night in Magic City, and they mixing with these same people. And like you said, later on in life, some of these people go this way and that way, but they still got this connection. And I feel like that might be a big reason why, we got such a stronghold on the game.
Yeah. Because it's interesting that in the beginning, New York was the center, sort of the home of rap music.
That's over with.
It's over. Yeah. But I mean, New York is, if you think just in terms of size, you would have thought that it would continue to play an important. Do you have a kind of explanation for why?
I do.
Let's hear it.
I do.
First of all, I'm sure you do. Secondly, let's hear it.
It's like this here. This is how I feel. I feel like, and this, I feel like a lot of people imitate.
Mm-hmm.
They say back in the day, people used to make rock and roll, and then, you know, like black people make rock and roll. A lot of white artists, I've been reading on this, right? And there's like a lot of white artists that make the same song and they make a cover.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be the exact same artist that a blues artist made or something like that. I feel like that's what's been going on in hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's like. The deeper the roots of the South, the deeper you are, I feel like you got more of that blues in you. You got more of just organic music making in you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of songs that's coming out now. Melodies and hooks, and it ain't so much lyric driven as much as it just sound good and sonically sound. So a lot of us got parents who play all this music. That's why it's so easy for, I guess, like a Quavo or a Future or a Thug to just go in the studio and make a hit record. It's like unreal. They go in and make a hit record 5 minutes, 10 minutes, because it's just the culture we grew up in. But then I see other artists, they got to get somebody to write the song for them, you know, voice, edit them while they're doing. These are rappers. These are not singers. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like so much, like like a robot, you got to program them to do it. It's not natural. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like it just comes from just that down south, just, you know what I'm saying? Just our roots being in the South.
Would you ever, it sounds like if you were to leave Atlanta, do you feel like you would be leaving your creative soul behind? Could you be productive somewhere else?
I had, you know, I got places in a lot of different places now, but it was a time that I moved to South Florida a couple years ago, and my music took a dive to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I got to get back to Atlanta where my producers at. I can't be down here just going to the.
Oh, it was clear to you that it took a dive because you were in a foreign.
It was maybe like 7-8 years ago. I knew it was a big thing because it's like I'm going to a studio out of state. I'm relying on email. You know, send me the beats on email, like go in there and record. It's not the same organic as, okay, Mike, will you come over here and make the beat as I'm sitting here just trying to think of stuff and brainstorming. When we do that, we might don't make it on the first one. But before we leave here, something's gonna sound good. If we make 4 records, 2 of them, it may don't even be a hit record, but somebody's gonna get something out of these 4 records when they hear them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we really just like bouncing ideas off each other. So, you know, the closer I am to my team, which is based in Atlanta, the better my music gonna sound.
Yeah, yeah.